Welcome back to the John Trading channel. You can see that Bitcoin had a major downturn last night as the SEC sued Coinbase, but we instantly had a massive rejection back to the upside. And Ethereum is looking even more bullish than Bitcoin as we never broke below this low and we're back above this exponential moving average. I have a lot of crypto news to go through with you today, so make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video. If you haven't already, leave a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed and leave a comment if you're enjoying these crypto videos. Let's talk about some crypto news, and this just happened. The SEC charges Coinbase for operating as an unregistered securities exchange, broker, and clearing agency. This comes literally one day after they sued Binance for the exact same thing. And this is just in, the SEC files for a restraining order to freeze Binance US assets. So one after another, the SEC has sued Binance, they've sued Coinbase, and now they're coming after Binance to freeze all their assets for all US customers. This meme perfectly shows the current state of Bitcoin. Bitcoin just doesn't care. You can see Bitcoin is just strolling along, and in the background, there's bombs going off, there's pump and dumps, there's exit scams, there's media FUD, there's misinformation, there's government attacks, there's lawsuits, there's more exit scams, there's more media FUD, and Bitcoin is just traveling along very, very happy. I saw the news. Wow, how was your day? As usual, Bitcoin is going as usual. We did have this big downturn once that news came out of the Binance and the SEC suing Coinbase. And literally as soon as the news came out, we literally turned exactly straight up back to the upside. Bitcoin just doesn't care. This is the famous F the SEC 100K pattern. We were going sideways in the Bitcoin market. We then had a major downturn once we heard about the Coinbase and Binance news, and we're instantly turned straight to the upside. Hopefully we make this basically FU pattern before we then continue to over 100K per Bitcoin. And in other news, an economist at financial services firm TD says the Chinese yuan, the euro, and digital companies could erode the US dollar's dominance, de-dollarization, and I could not agree more, especially with this debt ceiling raised in the United States when the inflation rate is absolutely massive. They're printing more dollars basically from nothing. All these currencies are going to do much better. There's no more petrodollar. People are trying to get away from the petrodollar where you can only pay for petrol and oil in US dollars. You know, the Chinese yuan is really growing. Even the Russian ruble is growing because they only want to pay with their own currency. They don't want to pay in US dollars. And obviously, digital currencies are going to be the backbone of this entire system. The SEC is weaponizing their role to kill an industry, allowing a company to list publicly and then stonewalling their attempts to register. And this is very true because Coinbase was founded in 2019. They had their initial ICO, and I couldn't agree more. The funniest part is Coinbase IPO'd in 2021, but the SEC says Coinbase was operating as an unregistered broker since 2019. So they allowed an unregistered broker to IPO without due diligence. And lastly, Jack Dorsey says there are only 3 truly censorship-resistant technologies at scale today: Tor, Bitcoin, and Nostra. Now let's look at the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some cryptocurrency altcoins. So in this area, we had this major downturn actually coming below and potentially stopping a lot of people out of their trade. And as I was talking about in yesterday's video, I was saying that you need to be very careful that this could be a stop hunt. A lot of people were placing their stops in this area once they were buying up here, looking for longs to the upside. And you can see exactly what happened. We literally stopped a bunch of people out in this area, and we literally reversed exactly back to the price that we were last week. One thing that you need to be cautious of is back in this area, we were in a trading range. All through here, people were selling high and they were buying low and they were scalping in this range, known as a trading range. And look what happened. We literally had a sweep of the high, failed back down. Then we had a sweep of the low, failed, and now we're back up. So we're still in that trading range price action as of this day. We haven't quite broken out just yet. Now coming over to the price of Ethereum, you can see Ethereum acted very much similar to Bitcoin, but we never had a sweep of these lows. A lot of stops were in this area that were trying to sweep that low. Through this area, we were all in that trading range area where people were buying low, selling high, and scalping. And again, all we done was come to the top higher of that range, we broke down, we then came back to the bottom of this range, and then people are buying back up. So people are still scalping in this area. And as I was saying in yesterday's video, the only way that this would not be a breakout is if the next bar was to close heavily to the upside and back above this trend line on this positive side. And that's exactly what happened. We had a sweep of these lows. A lot of people got stopped out, but we're still above this trend line trading pattern. Plus, we also have this positive exponential moving average. Even after this day of a big downturn, we still came back up, and you can see the EMA is slightly trending to the upside, which means that positive slope means that there's slightly higher probability of longs continuing to the upside than there is shorts continuing to the downside. The reason that is all through this area, you can see we had that massively positive sloping EMA, and you can see we made really good longs to the upside. And through this area here, we were having that negative sloping EMA, which means all in these value areas were decent shorts back to the downside. Even having a look at Solana, you can see we stuck along this trend line trading pattern. So we had a retest of this bottom, which is still a bullish sign. Since we're all the way above this trend line, it still means that we have high probabilities of continuing to the upside. You can see here the EMA is actually exactly sideways. So we're not slightly ticking to the upside or even slightly ticking to the downside. We're basically sideways, which gives us that 50-50. There's basically the same probability of shorts to longs in this particular area. But the thing that I'm looking at is we're at a support level, also above this trend line trading pattern. And the last thing that I really would want is a positive sloping EMA. And if I had all those three things in a row, it would then massively increase the probability of a trade to the long side. And XRP right now is looking even more bullish than every coin. We broke above this trend line trading pattern through here. Then we had a massively positive exponential moving average. And in yesterday's video, I was talking about people will be looking to buy in this value zone between the short term and the medium term exponential moving average. And look what happened. We literally poked below it just by 1%. And now people have made over 7 to 8% on this particular trade. So just giving us high probabilities of still continuing to the upside. The only thing we need to be cautious of is we're still at this high. People could be selling high, looking to buy back lower. So we need to see a good positive rejection off of this area and continuing to the upside. Make sure you've liked the video, make sure you're subscribed and you hit the bell notification, plus leave a comment if you're enjoying these daily crypto videos. That's all I have for you for today. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.